It's mailbag time.
Yes.
Welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus Show. I'm Lupagus here with Onebar, and you have questions. We have answers. It's time to reach deep into our sacks and pull out the mail you sent us. We're going to answer your burning questions right now.
We got answers. They might not be very good answers, but damn it, we got answers. Before we get to that, remember, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 9,000 subs. Boom, boom, boom. Grab yourself the cold lift bridge. It's almost the weekend. In fact, grab yourself a handful of cold lift bridges.
Wow. All right. So, yeah, season is officially over, and I'm going to guess a lot of these maybe have to do with the off season. I haven't seen them.
They do. They do. First off, do you guys think O'Connell should turn over play calling duties to be the head coach and look over the whole team rather than act like an offensive coordinator?
Well, you read it. I'll let you start.
No. I mean, that's why I brought him here. Wes Phillips already getting requests to go interview with the Chargers, so he's a hot commodity. So not that he can't do it, but Kevin O'Connell is here to pretty much run this offense. We just need a good defensive coordinator, and I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I don't really feel like he, completely ignored the defense, or I didn't have a lot of questions with some of his clock management skills. Yeah, there was a couple of cutesy play calls. Would have liked to maybe do something different at times, but to me, it wasn't an issue. So I agree with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, he even press conference, he mentioned how he had his hands in the defense. I mean, I think he's, especially those speeches afterwards. I mean,
yeah,
he's a head coach, baby. He's a head coach. He just likes to run the offense. There's another coaching one here. Let's get this one out. Which coaches would you keep that are on the staff?
Well, I think I'd just keep everybody but Ed Donatel, pretty much. I mean, Mike Pettin could go too. I mean, if I don't know how involved he was in the defense, but if he had a lot to do with the design, the schemes, the game plan every week, then I think I'd let both those two go and start with some young guys. But other than that, I didn't really have any problem with anybody else.
Well, I mean, if they get rid of Ed Donatel, there's going to be some dominoes that fall. They're not just going to keep it and just bring in one defensive coordinator. So I don't care if any of those guys, I mean, they're not all going to leave. I mean, Ed Donatel's still here, so we don't even know. But if they replace Ed Donatel, I could absolutely see them replacing a handful of defensive coaches. But offensively, special teams, I can't see any reason to get rid of any of those guys.
Nope.
Let's just hope Kenny McCardle still sticks around.
I know. He had a really bad interview with the Patriots.
Oh, man, that's not very nice. Be wishing him well.
It's selfish. I'm being selfish.
You are. All right, is there any big names the Vikings could be looking for in a potential offseason trade?
That's all you.
I mean, 4 draft picks, but that doesn't matter. We're not scared to trade. They had 6 trades in the draft alone. Hawkinson, Rager. I don't think they look at the draft picks. I think they look at who they're getting in return. So I'm not putting a trade off the table. No way in hell. As far as players, I mean, we could be looking. We might need a number 2 wide receiver. They sure the hell were sniffing around Brandon Cooks quite a bit. And Brandon Cooks ain't going back to the Texans. He's got that high salary price tag, but he's one name that sticks out. And then just maybe a impact defensive player. I don't know who.
Yeah, you're looking at needs. You got to look at when they made the trade last year. It was in October, right before the deadline. So maybe they wait again to see how things shake out. For dropping names, there was smoke around Jerry Jeudy too last year on the trade deadline. I think you'd have to get quite a bit to get a young receiver like that who actually kind of broke out this year in a really shitty Denver Broncos offense. And another name I think is interesting to keep in the back of every Vikings fan's minds. You're looking for the quarterback of the future. San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy over there. Are they going to roll with him? Do you call and just see what Trey Lance's price tag is? Bring someone in like that, dynamic quarterback. I know he hasn't done much yet, but he's got a rocket arm. He can run. Potentially, maybe there's someone there you can look at to groom as Kirk Cousins' replacement.
All right, there you have it. Let's see. Let's go. Should the Vikings stay in a 3-4 or go back to a 4-3?
I think they should go back to a 4-3. I don't know if the personnel was a great fit. I hated seeing Daniil Hunter drop into coverage as much as he did. So again, this goes back to D coordinator. Is Ed Donatel going to stay? I don't know. I think I go back to the 4-3. But again, if for some reason this new D coordinator comes in, if we do get a new one and he likes the personnel to fit a different scheme or his scheme, and he thinks he can make it work, then whatever. But I think I'd lean to the 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things that stuck out to me in the press conference was how Kevin O'Connell basically said we didn't run a 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're running it 28% of the time, he said it's just different variations of a 4-3 and 3-4. So everyone's all hung up on this. Oh, it's 3-4 that sucked. It's 3-4 that sucked. I don't think that really had much to do with it. And they weren't out of position. They've all played it. There's no excuses. I think they're just bad players and a bad defense coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, bad players who aren't getting those players in the best position to succeed.
You put it much, much nicer than me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, our special teams look any different?
Well, the kicker might be different, but I think it's your turn. Sorry, I jumped in that one.
That's it. We don't need
anything.
The kicker might be different. That's
Jalen Reagor. I mean, I don't know if he's back or not. I mean, he didn't do much. Maybe they bring some competition there. Punt returner. Kenny will definitely be the kick returner. Ryan Wright, you know damn well, Ryan Wright, the fridge is going to be around for a long time, long damn time. Same with that long snapper.
Well, he's 35, but yeah, I mean, Reagor, I think he's absolutely coming back. Compensation we gave up for him. He's a decent punt returner. There's no reason to get rid of him. All right. Jefferson and Hockenson contracts will be coming up at the same time. What do you think it's going to cost to re-sign these guys?
I don't even have the fondest idea. We look at Jefferson. I mean, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be it's going to break the record. It's going to be the highest ever. What did you see Tyreek was getting, 83 million or something?
They're basically saying Jefferson's going to get 30 million a year. Just a matter of how many years that they sign him for. So 30 million seems to be the magic number, worth every penny.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid like they both do it at the same time. They'll make this thing work. They always do. They figured a way. Rob Brzezinski's a magician when it comes to this shit. There's so many ways to work this thing. So they'll figure out a way to keep them both at it's going to be a large price tag for both, but they're both worth it.
I mean, looking at tight ends, Waller's the top paid tight end right now. He's getting 17 million a year. Mark Andrews is the fifth highest, and he's getting 14 million. So you got to figure Hawkinson's going to be right in that line. I mean, he's still very, very young, which is going to drive that price tag up even more. But they made it clear they want Hockenson here.
Yeah, you don't give a second round pick for a guy for 1 year. I mean, you're gonna extend this guy. He'll be a Viking for a long time.
All right, final one from the Voss man. Who do you guys like at pick 23? And do you think we'll make a splash with any big free agents?
Let's see. Is it your turn? I think it's your turn.
I mean, we're going to be diving more into the draft, obviously, and getting into some names as the months go on. But I mean, looking at all the mock drafts, there's some cornerback seems to be hot and heavy, and some of the names that stick out. And usually these guys are gone before 23, but we all know how the draft goes, and I'm just going a little bit fantasy land. But Branch from Alabama, that cornerback, Joey Porter from Penn State, Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. Everybody loves that dude. Mm-hmm. And then one wide receiver, Jordan Addison from USC, gets everybody very excited about potentially playing with Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm going to throw an edge rush in there too. BJ Ojulari, another name I've been seeing linked right around there. Vikings got to create some pass rush. Zary Smith's old, Daniel Hunter's old, and who knows how long either one of those are going to be here. So another name to look at is Ojulari.
And free agent wise, I mean, I was just looking at the defense side of the ball. I mean, I was looking at some of the top. I mean, they're going to be not cheap, and we're going to have to figure out how to do it. But Cam Sutton of the Steelers, Byron Murphy from the Cardinals, cornerback, still young. Dalton freaking Reisner is a free agent.
I saw that today.
Dalton Reisner. We love Dalton Reisner. We probably aren't going to go sign a guard since we just drafted Ed Ingram. But and then Tremaine Edmonds is a linebacker that everybody's going to be all over from the Bills. But all these guys are going to be expensive as hell.
And the Vikings got to create some cap room before they even start looking. So a lot of work to be done there. But yeah, I think I'd like to see a veteran corner be brought in because this group's going to be young next year. I'd like to have somebody who's been proven back there.
All right, that's it. Mailbag is empty, spilled on the floor. Get out the mop.
Feels so much lighter right now. Feels so good. All right, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Hashtag badass in the comments as well. And remember this. A single man in China once booked every other seat in a cinema theater to split up couples on Valentine's Day. What a rascal.
Lupagus just left. Kept it going.